So what is the actual dream scaling build? Is a question that I get asked pretty much never, but I figured I'd answer it anyway. I made a video not too long ago where I just pretty much had 4 monkeys or even more for my scaling, and I called it the dream scaling video. But you know what? That video is kind of a lie, because it turns out I don't think monkeys are actually the best way to scale in this game. They're great. I still think they're one of the best in the game. But if you want to win consistently in Arena, I think you should actually go for Penguin. But what's the actual best scaling unit in the game? It's definitely Dragon. If you've played any versus matches where you're pretty much gonna go late game, depending on like the size of the lobby, but most of the time you're gonna go like 18 turns or something if you leave it at the standard hearts with like 8 or 16 people, then you definitely want to go with Dragon scaling. It's possible to win without Dragon scaling, sure, if you get like Penguin and Monkey, but I think Dragon scaling is definitely the most consistent way to win in versus. And it also works in Arena too, especially if you get an early Dragon. I think actually an early Dragon, so if you combine on turn 9, get the early tier 6, is pretty much the easiest free win the game can hand you. Because you also have Chocolate unlocked at that point, you can immediately just go for that level 2 Dragon. Your chances of seeing Chocolate on turns 9 and 10 are really nice, so as long as you just roll for Chocolate and level 2 Dragon, you're probably going to get it. So it's just a huge advantage, and if you do see an early Dragon, I would highly recommend just pivoting to it right away, unless you're at like 1 life, because then it's kind of tricky. But even still, I wanted to show off how good Dragon scaling was, and so I tried to record a run where I actually went Dragon scaling, but the problem is, when you do get Dragon scaling, you win too fast. It's kind of a silly problem, but I didn't really get to show off like the full how quick you can get to 50-50 with Dragon scaling in Arena, but unfortunately, I just won too fast. I'm just too good at the game. Classic problem I'm sure everyone has. It's like the same thing with achievement hunting. If you actually try to get the ribbons and all the achievements, which I do have for the free-to-play, it can be really tricky, because a lot of times you have to perfectly time it, make sure it goes to late game, but you still have to win. Anyway, to actually talk about this run that's been playing on screen for a second, you can see the mid-game, so I guess I'll just give some general tips on how to win Arena, because I pretty much said it, like earlier. You want to go for Penguin scaling, but I also think getting early tier 3s is really important, so you can do that by either pillion spiders or just combining stuff, looking for those duplicates like level 2 fish, level 2 ant, level 2 mosquito, level 2 otter, whatever it takes. You just try to get those early tier 3s, and usually, like almost all of them besides camel and blowfish are good. So there's a very good chance you actually get something useful. You can see I got a kangaroo here. Do you just want to put melon armor in the thing in front of the kangaroo, and then you put garlic armor on the kangaroo, and you're kind of set against like any summoning builds or just a lot of teams in general? An early level 2 kangaroo can be pretty much game winning. Here you can see I really thought I was going to lose that round, but somehow it actually worked out against a hedgehog blowfish team, which is funny enough like a team that I sometimes struggle against just because I really go for melon armor and it doesn't always work against a hedgehog blowfish. You really want garlic armor against that specific team, but I think melon armor in general is just better than garlic armor. So that's why you can see I go for turtles. You often freeze pills early on, just the anticipation of getting turtles. You can see I think I was also going to try out to get a penguin. Instead I got like bison and fish. Probably should have pilled the turtle that turn, but that's okay. Tier 4 is actually pretty interesting now, because I think, so Skunk's also just a great unit in general, and Penguin it's worth rolling for now, I think. Like before, I really was not a big fan of a lot of the things on Tier 4, but for some reason, I'm really hooked on Penguin scaling. If you look at my past Arena runs, I would say like maybe 80% of them rely on Penguin scaling to win, and my best current win streak in Arena is 9. It's not the best. It's certainly not what Donut Seeds has. Donut Seeds got 21 in a row on stream. Well, most of them were on stream the other day. So if you do want to check out like the Master Arena Pro player, you can check out Donut Seeds. He streams on Twitch sometimes. But yeah, another good way to scale, Bison. Get an early level 3. There's not a ton of good level 3s. Like ideally you'd get level 3 Swan. If you're in versus, then level 3 Mosquito, because people know that melon armor is so good. So I think Mosquito gets a huge buff in versus. You don't find a ton of people going with early melon armor in Arena. but just get that early tier 3. I don't really like going for like level 3 otter. I mean, it's really good to get, but then I just sell it. But I really don't like keeping around like random otters or like crickets or stuff. I haven't had great success with just trying to go for immediate bisons because you don't always get what you want. Sometimes you have to like roll a ton for it. Sometimes you don't even bother getting it. It's just, it can be rough. And bison scaling, it's only +2/+2 at level 1. It's not like game changing. Like you can see how much this penguin's gonna give. It can give +1/+1 to 4 units. That's like +4/+4 on a tier 4. Now it could give +8/+8. It's kind of insane. You can see here, I was really thinking about what to sell. I probably could have sold bison because like the bison's just not that necessary, but I decided to go with fish, even though it had melon armor. That's okay. So you can see here, I just roll. You get great odds at finding chocolate. You freeze tier 1s. The early dragon, this was a turn 10 dragon, wasn't even a turn 9 dragon. It's just so good. It's kind of unfair. And along with swan, you just get unbelievable scaling because I have 3 extra gold from the swan, which means I can pretty much get an extra like buy sell off the dragon and then also an extra roll. That's how math works. You can see I immediately get another dragon. Your odds of seeing chocolate in the shop are actually better than seeing the tier 6 that you want in the shop, but that's okay. So I don't actually need the penguin anymore because the dragon scaling is going to do it just fine. And on mosquito, just for the like accidental melon snipe. It's possible. And you can see I even memed it up a little more in this run. You could probably tell by the thumbnail, but I went for 2 level 2 dragons. It's not necessary at all. In fact, I think you can just stop at level 2 dragon. You don't even need a level 3 dragon because like you're spending 9 gold, which can give you a lot of buy selling, probably +8/+8 for your entire team. And you know, you're only getting +1/+1 extra, so it's going to take 8 buy sells to catch up. So I normally don't go for level 3 dragon. If it does give it to you like right away and your team is low on stats, then sure, you can go for it. But most of the time, I don't think it's really necessary. Just gotta make sure I don't roll past tier 1s. It happens sometimes. And the game gives me another dragon. So here I'm thinking like, okay, it's not really necessary, but what's more fun? It's definitely to get as many dragons as possible. Immediately roll into another chocolate. Love to see. Good RNG. And there's really not much that can beat like just all 50/50s, especially early on. If you're going to like turn 20, then sure, just stats isn't going to win you the game. But for the most part in Arena, you can easily win with just stats and pretty much no in-game abilities. So you can see here, I think I sell Kangaroo. Yep, there we go, goodbye. Absolutely no in-game abilities whatsoever. But you can see I'm getting +4/+4 every time I buy something for 2 gold. It's just not fair. What am I supposed to do? Oh, I should have taken that dragon, huh? I should have gone for 3 dragons. That would have been so much more fun. And then it would have been a much better thumbnail, too. Why didn't I do that? Oh, no. Not the algorithm. So they have a snake. I don't think snake is very good anymore, unfortunately. It used to be one of my favorite units, but there we go. That's a very simple, like, free win just with early dragon. If you do see an early dragon again, I recommend taking it. It's probably the most OP stat boosting unit in the game. And even you can take it on turn 11. It's still good. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.